Welcome to the new Workology Go Podcast. In just under 5 minutes, we'll get you the HR and workplace news you need before you start your day 3 times a week. Get ready, get set, and go with the new Workology Go Podcast.
Today is Monday, February 25th, 2019. Here are today's HR and workplace news headlines from Workology Go Podcast. I'm Jessica Miller-Merrill. This podcast is sponsored by Learn by Workology. The Wall Street Journal recently published an article that shines a spotlight on hacking and how easily someone can access one of your many devices and technology. They accomplish this through a process called phishing. Felix Oldegoji is the CEO of Meet Me in the Cloud and shares in a past Workology podcast interview what phishing is.
So phishing is a technique used by hackers to trick, people to provide them, personal information. And, of course, these attacks are usually in the form of emails or websites, and they often look very legitimate. You have to pay attention to them. Most of the time, they're set up to, get you to download malicious software onto your machine. Obvious results that they're looking for is that you would pass on, most likely your password. Because think about it. These days, companies have invested heavily in IT infrastructures and securing the IT environment, and they continue to spend a lot of millions doing that. So it's really much harder to try to crack the firewalls of these companies. So what do you try to do? How about you crack the human element, crack the human password? So if they can get your password or get your credentials, it's probably easier to just get into the system with your password. So that's what happens. Through some of the malicious emails, the malicious software, you get something like a keylogger. A keylogger would then record your keystrokes, take some of your credentials with it. And that's pretty much the goal of the phishing.
The article from the Wall Street Journal is titled, What I Learned from the Hacker Who Spied Me. Sounds like a movie. The journalist Joanna Stern hired an ethical hacker, Alexander Hyde. The hacker tried to access her computer and home. Very quickly, he was able to do so. He accessed her home network, sending a webcam photo of the journalist's daughter to her sleeping in the bedroom. Alexander talks in the article about how he accessed the network, which happened by applying for a job. He created a fake persona, applying for a videographer job and sending a resume attachment and a video reel with an executable file. You can read more about this story along with a link to the article by visiting the published transcript of this podcast on Workology.com. Are you an HR leader who's looking to upscale your HR game? Check out Workology's Learn, an on-demand learning platform anytime, anywhere for individuals and teams. Visit Workology.com/learn. And that's it. This is the first episode of the Workology Go podcast, sponsored by Learn by Workology. We're your go-to for HR and workplace news. That's Workology Go Podcast. I'm Jessica Miller-Merrill. Thank you for listening. We'll see you soon.
To learn more about the Workology Go Podcast, subscribe to us on Apple, Google, and Stitcher. Our podcast is also available on Alexa and Google Home. Learn more at workology.com/Go Podcast and access this episode's resources, links, and reports for more information.